Okay, so happy Sunday. Welcome to Viewers Voices, the weekly show that's dedicated to people who are kind enough to take the trouble to watch Donu's World videos, which at the moment are on Wednesdays and Fridays. So this week, well, what we do is we talk about the Friday video from the week before rather than the one from 2 days ago. Okay, so this week, the only responder on YouTube, at least, is Patricia Wask, my friend, my regular. She talks about the dogs that she's taking care of and the new puppies. And she says she sent me photographs and videos on Messenger, which I've seen. Lovely, lovely, lovely chocolate Labrador pups. And she says she loves the podcast. She says I should keep it up. And she says, I'm very interested in your online club, which is an important point I have to pick up on, because I've been flagging up for the past couple of weeks the fact that I want to set up an online club where my viewers can interact with each other and have more interactions with me. But so far, and I've given everyone who tunes in the opportunity to register using a special link that's in the description at the bottom of this video. And also, I also gave the website address. We've not had much of a response. Now, this may be a bad sign of things to come. Maybe we'll never get enough of a response to have a really buzzy, thriving club going. Or maybe it's just a slow start to something that will eventually be very successful and well populated. But for now, we don't have enough people to kickstart the club. So I think what we'll do is, I'm kind of like temporarily shelving my club plans, but I will keep the registration link there so that people can keep on registering, and we'll see what kind of, response we're getting. And if it's, once we have enough people, we can start. And if we never have enough people, then we'll eventually totally drop the idea. So Patricia, I know you're one of the people who has signed up and registered to join the club. Thank you very much for that, and to the other people who have done so. So let us now move on to the comments attached to Nigeria Unfiltered, which is my Wednesday show. And so we're looking at comments from last Wednesday's show, which was about Nigerian politicians, opposition politicians leaving the opposition and jumping into the ruling party, which I worry means that we're turning into a one-party state. Now imagine, let's just go for the Americans and the Brits, because they're the main people who watch this Donu's World. Imagine a situation in which, okay, there's just been a by-election in the United Kingdom, and one of the opposition parties won, but more often than not, obviously, it's the party in power that will get the vote, whether it's for a council election or a mayor or a legislator or whatever. Now, imagine a situation where people from the opposition party kept on abandoning the opposition party to join the party that's winning, that's in charge, and thereby depleting the ranks of the opposition so seriously that eventually there's almost no opposition left. So that would be it. As things stand in the UK now, it would be as if the majority of Labour Party, the majority of Conservative politicians rushed to join the Labour Party. In American terms, it would be as if all the Democrats who lost out when Donald Trump won last year rushed to join the Republican Party. So, because here in Nigeria, they've got no principles or ideologies. So it doesn't really matter to them which party they belong to, as long as, some of them do have, I'm being unfair, some of them do have some principles, and some of them will stay with the opposition. But the majority are just interested in, taking care of their own interests. So obviously, the most profitable party to be in is the one that's running the government, that's in charge of the money, in charge of everything. So that's what's happening in Nigeria. I find it most unsavory, because if you believe in something, you'll stick with it, even if it's not the winning ticket. But I guess they don't really believe in anything except themselves. So here are some of the comments that Donu's World viewers sent when they watched my Wednesday video, which is called Nigeria Unfiltered. Zed Homey said, the primary reason behind the politicians switching parties is self-preservation. The only thing Nigerian politicians think about is how to rig elections to perpetuate themselves in power and further enrich themselves, corruptly I hasten to add, and their cronies with the nation's commonwealth. So Emilio Khan, that's the President Tinubu's nickname, so Emilio Khan promised them their next 10 years will be taken care of if they jump ship, and they all oblige. It's that simple. Anything else is secondary. So it's very true that the president and the ruling party have made it clear that, if you've committed any crimes, you'll be let off the hook if you join their party. And if you want, and also another thing is, if you want to come back, if you want to win the next election to keep your seat, the next election's in 2 years' time, again, if you want to guarantee, join the ruling party. So, as Zed Homey says, that's what they're motivated by. Then Patricia says it sounds like utter chaos, and she doesn't blame me for being upset. She wants to know what economic policies President Tinubu is attempting to implement that necessitated a state of emergency declaration in Rivers State, where I come from. If you want to understand what's going on, apart from Dr. Google, which will provide you with quite a lot of information, if you go back and watch my Wednesday videos for the past 5 or 6 weeks, you'll know what Patricia is referring to. Patricia, I salute your diligence in keeping up with Nigerian news. It's amazing that you should know so much about what's going on here, because, compared to America, we're not a very important country. So thank you for being interested. She says she doesn't understand enough about the differences in Nigeria's political parties and what their agendas are. Can you explain it for us, please? Truth is, Patricia, there's no real difference between all of them. It's the same kind of people in all the parties, almost. They don't have any ideological differences, not really. It's my ex-husband, who's also a journalist, Dominic, said, Nigerian political parties are like football teams. They all have the same objective and the same mindset. And they recruit players who they think will help them win. They don't operate on the basis of ideology. There's no, you can't say, just like Republicans are more to the right and Democrats are more to the left, and this party is more pro-immigration or pro-gay rights. It's not like that here. They're all the same. Occasionally, there's a difference based on region. So some parties are more popular in certain parts of the country than others. But, I have never seen any serious difference in any of them. We do have a Labour Party, which is supposed to be driven by trade unionists and people of a sort of more progressive mindset. But, I haven't seen anything in the Labour Party members I know, except for Peter Obi. That's another story for another day. As far as I'm concerned, the Labour lot are not that impressive either. So Emma J. Music says, good morning, Donu. And I say, good morning, Emma J. And she talks rather lyrically about a fairground with many different rides and people in charge, as opposed to a ringmaster in a badly run circus. No matter which land is at the top of the magic faraway tree, it is certainly crazy and has me retreating to my bit of temperate rainforest on the mountain. Emma J lives in Australia. And she says, on the mountain, she can't see the wood for the trees, and the birds and creatures are a delightful distraction. As winter starts to set in, a choice to hibernate or to heed the call of the sun places me on the fence. You know, Emma J, I know that's not your real name. I know your real name, but you obviously don't want it to be known, so you use a pseudonym for this. You should have been a poet, quite frankly. You really should. Beautiful piece of imaginative, almost literary reminiscences and observations. Let me see. Yeah, and Patricia Russell. Good afternoon, she says, and I say good afternoon back. So let's now see if there are any responses attached to last Sunday's viewers' voice video, sorry. Oh, okay. That's nice. Emma J again. She says, I'm looking relaxed because I wasn't wearing any makeup. Frankly, I looked awful, but she thinks, it's nice that I didn't feel I have to dress up, I guess. She had problems signing on to the club. I will ask my staff to look into that. Sorry, some people have had technical problems signing on to the club registration link. As I said, we're not going to launch the club until we have enough people, but please do keep signing on if you're interested, and forgive the delay. And then Jude Webb says, never apologize for appearance. You are beautiful as you are. You don't need earrings, and sometimes it's good to give your ears a rest. I agree. Thank you for the mention. And she talks about terrible things going on in the world right now. She says everyone should take care. And her thoughts to everyone, and not everyone who's living in difficult circumstances. Not only people living in difficult circumstances, but also those going through serious illness and needing treatment like chemotherapy. God bless you, and I pray you all get through safely. Oh, Jude, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you on behalf of myself and on behalf of all the people who are going through hell right now because of their health or for whatever reason. And then there's V. Agulu, my cousin. She says, wow, she never knew that dogs went through C-sections. Interesting knowledge gained. So Patricia, she's talking about your dogs, Patricia. So you've been an educationist in this context. Thank you very much, everyone. And, while we're waiting for the club to be launched or to find out whether we have enough interest to have a really good, thriving, robust club, I thought, I could make these Sunday videos a little bit more clubby. So, for example, I want to recommend a book that I have been reading. It's absolutely fabulous. I haven't even finished it, but it's so good, really impressive. It's by Toni Morrison, a Black American writer who's now dead, and more famous. This book is called Sula, by the way, Sula. And she's more famous for another novel she wrote called Beloved. And the New York Times described Sula, the book I'm reading, as extravagantly beautiful, enormously, achingly alive. So, highly recommended. And I'll be doing that every week. I'll be recommending something I've read or talking about other things, not just viewers' comments. So that you can, feed me back, tell me what you think. Does the book appeal to you? No problem. If you've read it and you don't like it, let me know. Or if you don't like the sound of it, that's fine. The whole point is let's engage more. So read it if you've got the time. If you can't afford to buy the hard copy, someone kindly gave me the hard copy. It's cheaper and quicker to download the book from Amazon. And another book I'd like to recommend But, you know, it's a book about self-sabotage, which I have mentioned in the past. I still haven't read it, but the first few pages that I've managed to get through sound very interesting and useful to people who aren't taking enough care of themselves, who aren't doing this, who aren't living their lives as intelligently as they should. Hence me being overweight and issues. So when I've read that book, I'll get back to you about it. But in the meantime, please, Sula is amazing. Thank you.